Not often does a game come along and define its own genre. From Software achieved this with Demon Souls, and to a greater effect with Dark Souls, which consists of a brutal difficulty, with RPG elements, and has given rise to many spiritual successors and a handful of worthy pretenders. It is absolutely impossible to discuss the game without also mentioning Dark Souls, because with just a change in name and art style, Salt and Sanctuary would look and feel exactly like an official spin-off, which in this instance is a major compliment, and it's hard to fault Ska Studios, makers of The Dishwasher and Charlie Murder, for taking from such a rich and well-loved series, especially when the results are as impressive and polished as Salt and Sanctuary. The opening of Salt and Sanctuary will give anyone familiar with the Souls series deja vu, as it is brutal in presentation. It felt like something out of a From Software game, and it is by no means an accident. From beginning to end, the experience evokes Demon Souls and its successors. Whether it's a zombie, a hulking dragon, or the terrain itself, just about everything in the world of Salt and Sanctuary threatens the player's continued existence. Also, nothing tells you where to go, what to do, or how to do it. It encourages you to take note of its intricacies, how enemies move when they strike, what booby traps and other surprises lie in wait ready to kill or maim you. For the combat, if you are familiar with Dark Souls, then you'll already know the basics of how to survive. Keep your shield up. If you are not sure what's ahead of you, never take enemy for granted, and always err on the side of caution. Many options are available for your preferred combat style with a mix of light, heavy, ranged, and magical attacks. You can block, evade, and you can even use various gear loadouts such as swords, shields, wands, and staves, bows, axes, even guns. Armor comes in heavy and light forms, the use of which is dictated by a carry weight stat similar to Dark Souls. Throughout the journey, players will learn skills that allow them to traverse environments and reach areas of importance. This adds a more direct Metroidvania element to the game, while it also does its best to recreate the sort of complex, intertwined map designs of its inspiration. With the ability to wall jump and walk on ceilings, players travel to new destinations and unlock helpful shortcuts. These powers can also be used to explore familiar settings and enter places which were previously inaccessible to find hidden loot. These secret areas contain useful new trinkets, which will reward you with your curiosity and help you on your way. Salt and Sanctuary builds on the look all the Ska Studios titles have used, with hand-drawn visuals and washed-out colors which are well suited to such a bleak world. It manages to make the combat feel even more difficult than it is, and death and failure even more depressing. The most important thing is that it's absolutely fantastic to look at and lend a real sense of individuality to the environments and bosses. The audio design of Salt and Sanctuary is as satisfying as the graphics, with the music especially during boss battles, enhancing the feeling of dread and challenge with its gothic tone, while the sound effects in combat combine a feeling of gravitas to every situation. Just like any proper Souls games, the bosses take center stage, and these towering brutes are sights to behold. They usually focus on either magic or melee damage and have a variety of moves which become more difficult to evade and counter as you deplete their health. Most bosses usually have 3 stages, with the last stage taking the form of a frantic, almost desperate assault in which they hurl everything they can at you. Each rewards you with a large supply of salt and a special item to help in upgrading your gear. Some are very easy, but others are absolutely behemoths with multiple attacks, ranged and melee movesets, and screen-length hitboxes. Luckily, it tends to be fair, and skill and patience and perseverance will usually see you victorious in the end. It also has the feeling it's unfair until you actually succeed, and elation is just overwhelming. The only real fault with Salt and Sanctuary is how it is unapologetically derivative if you have played a Souls game before. Everything from the sanctuaries to the game over screens to how experience points can be lost or regained are pulled straight out of From Software's playbook. The lack of original ideas is depressing. However, call it a clone if you wish. This is one incredibly well-made clone from designers who understand not only what makes Souls games tick, but how to translate the type of experience into a different dimension and tie it together with a distinctive style. Salt and Sanctuary is brutally difficult, beautifully created, and meticulously crafted, and what it lacks in pure story and original content makes up for with atmosphere, depth, and charm. It is a compelling atmospheric odyssey which uses its gloriously grim visuals to heighten your anticipation at every turn, dropping you into pitch darkness as you explore underground or throwing sudden bosses at you when you're least expecting it. In preparation for the inevitable Dark Souls 3, Salt and Sanctuary will whet your appetite as it is the perfect 2D companion to the Souls series.